Hi everyone, it's Mary. I just wanted to do a quick Bright Line Eating update um, and give a little bit of my story and background with Bright Line Eating just to give some context that's hopefully helpful for people. So Bright Line Eating is a way of eating. A lifestyle change is probably the best part of it. And it includes the 4 bright lines, which are no sugar, no flour, you eat 3 meals a day, and you weigh and measure all of your food. You can look it up, you can Google it and get more information, but it's what's really helped me. A little piece of my story, I was dealing with lots of issues with my health, and I had changed my diet drastically. I did autoimmune paleo, I had eliminated a bunch of food, and had done all this work with my doctor. And then one day I was meeting with him, and I mentioned that I wanted to lose weight, which I thought he already knew. But I was frustrated because I'd done all these diet changes and was eating super good food, but I thought I would be losing weight, and instead I kind of stayed the same and then started even gaining weight a little bit, if I wasn't careful at least. And so he recommended Bright Line Eating to me. And I was like, oh yeah, Bright Line Eating, sure, I'll look that up. And then I did, and I saw it was for food addicts. And I kind of got mad because I didn't think I was a food addict, and it offended me. And so I started... But I had prayed before I had gone to the doctor that I was frustrated with my health, and I was asking for an answer that if there was just a simple something that I was missing, that God would give my doctor some wisdom and help me to listen. And so that kind of came back to mind during my anger. And so I decided to look into it more. And so I did. And as I took the susceptibility quiz, I thought it was really, which is online, you can look that up. My last video, I put a link to it. I can do that to this one too. It's a really simple quiz, but I was just like, this is just stupid, because I, of course, scored a 10 out of 10 on being very addicted to food. And I was like, it's stupid, like anyone would score that, or it's just because I have such a restricted diet. That's the only reason that I'm high on the susceptibility scale. But then as I read more into it, and I started watching YouTube videos on that and reading the Bright Line Eating book, and I realized that I was definitely food addicted. And I realized how addicted I was when I actually started applying the Bright Lines, which I already had a very low sugar intake. All I had was maybe a tablespoon of honey a day usually, like pretty much always. And then every once in a while I'd have some gluten-free flour, but mostly my carbs were sweet potatoes. And yet I was, so anyways, but just by eliminating the rest of the honey, getting rid of honey and getting rid of, like, portion controlling my carbs, my sweet potatoes, or every once in a while potatoes, and I also had oatmeal. And it took my body about 2 weeks, and then my brain told me I was dying and started going crazy, even though I was eating a massive amount of good food, because in Bright Line Eating, you're not starving yourself, you're eating a really good portion. And I think that's what's cool about it, is that when you look at your food, your plate, you know you're eating plenty of food, so your brain can't lie to you and tell you that you're not eating enough. But anyways, that's when I really realized for sure my brain was super addicted to sugar, and believed what I believe to be the truth now, and that's that sugar is highly addictive for some of us, and it really is like crack cocaine or any other addiction like alcohol or whatever else. So if you're like me, I had to stop going around judging other people for their addictions when I wasn't even facing mine. So some wonderful wins is now less than 5 months in. I've lost 37 pounds, and I've lost it while eating and with less craving over time, less crazy brain. Now if I skip a meal, It's not a big deal. I don't sugar crash like I did before. Before I'd feel ravenously hungry. And I thought that was actual hunger, but it was actually just a sugar addiction. So now since my brain isn't addicted, I don't ever feel ravenously hungry. I can even skip a meal and I'm fine. And let me look at my notes because, I get distracted. So yeah, not thinking about food. I don't get ravenous. I can skip meals. Already got that one. And the other part is even if I gained weight, like sometimes I want to enjoy, still whole foods, really good foods, but I'll let myself enjoy a meal where I don't weigh and measure something. But even if I gained a pound or something, like I would know how to lose it right away because there's no guessing in bright line eating. It's just if you do it, you will lose weight. Like you can lie to yourself in lots of other diets and your brain can trick you really easy because I think at least my brain will basically like, oh, you didn't eat that much, or oh, you worked harder today, so you need a little bit more, or it won't keep track of the drinks I'm drinking or a lot of other stuff. So you can kind of think you're not eating much and be eating way more than you are. But when you're bright line eating, you make those decisions. You try to make those the night before about your food, and then you just follow what you've decided so that you are always doing what you planned on doing, and you can't be in that place of being hijacked by your brain, your crazy brain that's addicted. So anyways, it's been wonderful because once I saw the weight starting to change and also like my gut stopped hurting so much, I started just having a little bit more energy, even with some chronic other issues, because I wasn't overfilling my stomach. And then, of course, I cried one day because I realized, like after I started for about a week, I realized we had about twice as many leftovers, just with me getting my act together and not overeating all the time. And so actually food preparation became a lot less of a big deal because there was always more food. So anyways, I had someone kind of ask about like when you lose the weight, my arm's getting tired because I didn't use a stand. When you lose the weight, sometimes, you're doing really good and then it'll kind of hit you out of nowhere. You think you're fine. And then sometimes you can start all of a sudden craving things. And when I've lost weight before, that's kind of always been the case where I think I'll be fine. And then something just switches and then I want to binge on something. But I think a lot of that is because a lot of times when I lost weight before, I was using exercise to lose weight, or I was restricting my food, but I wasn't eating necessarily a lot of vegetables. And with Bright Line Eating, look into it, but it's pretty cool because you're eating so many vegetables. Your body allows your what they call a set point to change. So most of the time when you lose weight, you're restricting and your body actually keeps track of that, and then it'll want to get you back to that level at some point. It'll just wait till it has opportunity to get you back eating because it thinks you starved or something like that. That's a theory. But with Bright Line Eating, it's like you're eating so many good vegetables and so much good food and good fats and the right amount of fats and meat still to maintain your body, like the important things. That set point, it actually gets less and less hard the longer you go. So if anyone wants to try it, just remember that, because at first it can be pretty difficult. It's a real addiction. It's like if you're an alcoholic, do you think you're going to be over it in a week? Probably not, right? So same way if you're a crack addict or heroin addict, are you going to get over it in a week? Nope. So you have to take it seriously. If you've tried everything else to lose weight and you're struggling, I would recommend Bright Line Eating. It's not for everyone, but if you're willing, it works. And for me, it's just taken a lot of pain out of my life. I can look in the mirror and recognize my face again. I'm lighter, have more energy, and I know what I'm feeding my body, and I know that I'm eating a really good amount of vegetable, which if you know anything about health, one thing we struggle usually to get is enough, especially green vegetables. So anyways, thank you for watching. I will try to keep making videos as often as I can. I know I meant to do them weekly, and it's kind of end up almost every other week. but I'm trying, and I'll keep at it. Let me know if there's more things you'd like to know, and I'll try to address that in the comments if I've forgotten something. Have a good day. Bye.